Hey folks, welcome to your weekly video. I am live on location at my favorite coffee shop in First Hill. Push and pull. So this week's technical challenge, this is a real fun one. You're going to translate some jargon, right, or some complex information about LionsLink, which is a new college service. You're going to translate that difficult communication into clear, concise communication in a visual format. Right? So think of this as another translation exercise. This is the heart of technical writing. You are simplifying the complex. It can also reverse itself, like complexifying the simple, right? That's also part of technical writing. So let's take a look at the complex information I want you to simplify this week, and then we'll look at various formats or forms of visuals that you can use. Okay, so here's your link. This is our one of our main readings this week. This is LionsLink, right? So you'll need to read through this, go through all of the, the different links, right? These sublinks, so that you can understand and comprehend, well, what is LionsLink? What is this thing, right, that I'm going to try to communicate to my audience? And your audience is LW Tech, right? Students who are thinking about LW Tech, students who are currently at LW Tech. Does that make sense? So dual enrolled students, students already here, right? So that is your audience that needs to understand, well, what is this thing called LionsLink? Okay, so I read through I've read this like multiple times and I'm still confused. So I need you guys to explain it to me. So you'll read through this, right? LionsLink, it's a new online system. It's for everyone at the college, faculty, staff, students. It's cloud-based software. It's a new tool, right? It helps us enroll in classes, manage our courses, payroll, and more, okay? So I'll talk briefly about using an infographic format to translate this, but again, you can do a cartoon, you can do a website, whatever visual format maybe you've worked in or with, through, right? I want you to bring those skills that you already have. I usually do infographics when I sort of teach other teachers, so I'll be mostly focusing on infographic, but again, you can use any visual format you want to translate this complex information into a clear, concise visual. Okay, so first things first, you are not just summarizing all of this information, right? How do I apply for admission? What if I attended another school? How do I activate, right? Does that make sense? When you're using a visual, you are trying to tell a simple story about this information. So I'll show you something that I find helpful to think about this. Infographics tell a story, folks. And that's why I think this description on LionsLink is really hard to comprehend, because I don't know what the story is, right? I don't know what it's doing, what the hero is, like what the problem is, right? Like, why do we have LionsLink, right? What was the problem? That it's, is this a solution to a problem? Does that make sense? Like, we understand a problem solution story. So you want your visual to tell a clear, simple story so that people get what LionsLink is. That is the heart of your challenge this week, okay? So you can think of it as, you can have a little introduction, you can have a central idea, you can have a little conclusion. You want your infographic to take no more than 30 to 40 seconds to read, right? And you want to present data quickly and easily. You want to tell a simple story in a creative fashion. So let me give you an example of finding the story within this complex LionsLink description. Okay, so I go back to the description of LionsLink. I see that it's a tool, right? It's a tool. It can help you manage, but I want to focus in on, okay, it sounds like a tool. So I could find an infographic that has images of tools, right? Now I'm telling a story. This is a tool that we can use to help us, right? This is a tool that will help us make things or do things. That's a story, right? I'm interpreting LionsLink as a tool. And my infographic would be, right, there'd be images of tools. Another thing that I could focus in on is it's helping you enroll or manage, right? So I'll show you some sort of images that I've pulled up. Here's an infographic using Canva. This is a management infographic. So I want to tell the story of, okay, what is Lions Link? It's a management tool, right? This will help you manage. It's like a calendar. It's like an organizer. So I found this free Canva template, right, that has clear, like, 1 leads to 2, leads to 3, leads to 4, leads to 5, you're graduated, right? Like, so I'm telling a clear, concise story that this is a management tool. Does that make sense? So I found this particular template to tell my story that, okay, this is what Lions Link is. It's a tool to manage, okay? Here's an example of, I made a syllabus. I didn't give us this syllabus this time, but I usually use an infographic syllabus as part of my courses. So you can see that I've used this, I'm telling a story, right? For me, the syllabus is often this overly complicated sort of legalistic document, right, of like 10, 14, 20 pages. Now it's like grown in size. And research shows that most students don't read a syllabus. So I often include a short infographic, like it's less than a page, it's a visual of my syllabus, and I've translated the syllabus into a simple story, right? And the simple story is about climbing to the mountaintop, right? Is succeeding, is rising up, is climbing, is getting to the pinnacle of this mountain, and we're going to do it together. So do you see how I've used an infographic to translate a syllabus into a simple story of let's get to the top of this mountain, right? That's it. And when I use this syllabus, students always like, I get it. We gotta rise up. And then on my infographic syllabus, I just include the most simple and important information: the grading policy, my contact information, a course description of the projects we'll do, participation, and course structure and access, right? For me, these are like the 5 most important boiled down, right, parts of the syllabus that you need to know, all within, right, less than a page, right? So do you see how I've turned the syllabus, complex information, into a story, right? It's like, let's get to this mountaintop together. Here's the 5 things you need to know to get there, okay? Again, same with this Lions Link. It's a management system, right? And here's a visual to show you Lions Link in a nutshell. It's just to help you organize your life. Okay, so that's what I mean by find the story that you want to tell about Lions Link, right? Make this information clear and concise and courteous. There's lots of ways to go about this, right? You could tell a story about enrolling in classes or managing or troubleshooting. You can tell a troubleshooting story, right? Lions Link is here to troubleshoot, right? So you need to read and process this data and then find your angle, find your point of entry, your story, right? What story do you want to tell about Lions Link that students aren't understanding just by reading all this complex data? So that is your main task this week. All of the readings this week support that. We'll take a look at some of them. Again, this is you'll see the discussion this week. You get some background on an infographic and the purpose of this challenge, right? We're in a very visual society, right? I almost think that we're just moving into a totally visual, not textual society. So we need visuals to help us convey complex information, right? So you see the requirements, lots of peer review suggestions here. So when you upload your infographic or cartoon or whatever visual format you're using, you'll also peer review one person's infographic or whatever visual that they're using, right? And you've got lots of peer review ideas and questions here to use, right? So be really helpful to each other using this peer review data. You have a link to how to examples of making cartoons, right? This is a great sort of reading on they're taking sort of complex academic stuff and making cartoons out of it, which is awesome. Um, okay, so that is the discussion, the project this week. And then you have a bunch of readings that just support you in this project. You've got the What is Lions Link, How to Make an Infographic in 5 Steps, Designing an Infographic, using cartoons to simplify. So I'll pull up, make an infographic in 5 easy steps. Right, so here it'll just sort of break down like, here's all the free templates you can use. And folks, if you use Visme or Canva, just know this, it's like Google Scholar, about 10% of it is free, right? So you'll hit paywalls on some templates. So again, just find and use the free templates. You should not be buying anything for this week's challenge or project. Does that make sense? So usually about 5 to 10% of Canva or Visme or a lot of these sites, they have, like the free offering, and then they have the paid offering. So just go with the free templates. Okay, so I love how this reading really just breaks it down. Set and choose a goal, right? Your goal is to translate Lions Link, right? Tell a story about it that students can understand, especially our younger students, right? We have students in the high schools, right? So that is your goal for this. Your audience, right? Your purpose, again, LW Tech community. Your purpose is to, right, explain Lions Link, right, in an easy to understand way, right? That's your purpose. That's your audience. You can use lots of different formats. This goes through a lot of them. But that is the heart of this week's challenge, right? Here they actually have my mountaintop that I used. Okay, so folks, as always, if you have any questions, email me. I hope you enjoy this challenge. Let go of perfection. This does not have to be perfect. And also, I'll send out an email request asking if folks are open to sort of sharing their designs with the college. I could send them to my dean. I would love to sort of, publish this information that we create. So think about that too, that we could actually use this for a real purpose, right, for a real audience in some way, right, giving these designs to the college. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's challenge. Thank you.